Curious about the kinds of things that can regularly attract you to the wrong men? Want to know how you can pivot away from making these common mistakes and attract healthier and happier guys into your love life? I've got all that coming up right now. Hey everyone, I'm dating and relationship coach Ryan Patrick. Okay, I'm pretty pumped for today's video for a few reasons. Now, obviously the first one is that I'm gonna cover the 7 mistakes that attract you to the wrong guys. The second reason is this was a highly requested video topic between the content survey I asked you ladies to fill out and YouTube comments. So this one might hit really close to home for a lot of you that have told me that things just feel off with the types of men that you've been dating lately. And finally, the third reason I'm excited is that I finally figured out the best, most cost-efficient way for us to work one-on-one together. So for those of you who have expressed interest in working directly with me, stay tuned until the end of this video and I'm going to lay out exactly how we can go about doing that starting today. And I think you'll be super happy with how low cost it actually is, because that was one of my top priorities. So stay tuned until the end for those details. And for those of you who may be new to my channel and want no BS dating and relationship advice from a fun-loving, happily married man, just click subscribe below and make sure to turn on all notifications to help support my channel and put it in the good graces of the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for your help on that, ladies. Now, back to those mistakes that drive you towards men that are a terrible fit for you. My first big point here is you're never going to be able to discover if he's the right fit for you if you never actually physically meet face to face with him. So always, always, always be forging ahead to get that first date with him. Now, once you accomplish that, then it's time to tap into your natural born intuition and not slip into what I call autopilot mode, where we basically revert back to our old patterns and behaviors that don't necessarily serve us very well. So here are those 7 mistakes that you can make in those first few dates with him that end up attracting and keeping around men that just aren't a good fit for you. The first mistake is you suffer from low self-esteem. So the last thing you want to do is employ the fake it till you make it strategy in dating. If you feel like things are just a little off between you and men at any given point, sometimes you just need to let yourself heal a little longer from a past breakup or start doing personal development work on yourself. Now, fortunately, I have open enrollment coming up again for my online course, The Boyfriend Blueprint, in late January. So mark your calendars if you're ready to do a little bit of work and start attracting great guys in 2021. Once you clear out past traumas and you start immersing yourself in activities that ignite you, you can easily make any shortage of self-esteem a thing of the past. The second mistake is you stick with what you know. This is probably one of the biggest traps on this list that we fall into because it doesn't require any work from us. This is that autopilot mode I was mentioning before. Now, dating guys that carry similar traits of what you're used to dating is comforting and familiar to you, even if those traits are totally toxic. What requires more work and effort is breaking out of that cycle and dating a new kind of guy that has the ability to pleasantly surprise you. You can mix up your usual way of operating by simply changing things like the dating apps you use or dating older or younger guys to try on new experiences for size. The third mistake is you equate looks with a good heart. I'm sure that we can all admit that looks can be deceiving. And you know what? So can a great smile. Just because he's hot, in shape, eats really healthy, maybe makes you smile once or twice, does not mean necessarily that his intentions are good or that he's a warm person by any means. Now, I've certainly been guilty of this one with women back in my 20s. But you make this mistake once or twice when you're younger, and you'll learn pretty fast from it. Make him check those all-important boxes, ladies. No excuses. Maintain high standards for yourself. No one else is going to do it for you, so make it a priority. The fourth mistake is you get swindled by narcissists. Now, I've done one video on narcissists a while back, but it was really short. Tell you what, should I do another video on narcissistic men that is longer and much more in depth? Just go ahead and let me know in comments right now if you think I should. Just say, Ryan, make the narcissistic men video. Now, this mistake ties in pretty closely with the last mistake, where men with narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, can cause trouble for a lot of you. They will charm you to no end to get exactly what they want from you. So you need to be careful, and you need to know the signs to look for early on in meeting him. Like I've mentioned before in previous videos, I have a narcissist in my family, so I've become somewhat of an expert on the subject of narcissism. So if you feel a video would be beneficial for you, I'm game to make it. The fifth mistake is you have a flawed sorting system. Now, I've talked about having a dating game plan in a recent video. Part of that strategy is having a detailed sorting system for men. Now, fortunately, I go into extreme detail on this in my Boyfriend Blueprint course. But basically, you need a way to sort out guys that aren't right for you super fast. If you're not actively engaging with your own personalized pass-fail criteria with every single man you date, it's gonna be really hard to weed out the not so great ones. Just think about all the time and heartache you'd save yourself by even putting in a little focus and attention on creating this vetting criteria for yourself. The sixth mistake is you grasp the good, you block the bad. This is a subconscious process that all of us have been through at one point or another in what I call grasping the good, blocking the bad. Now, this is a process in which we grasp onto all of the positive attributes of a potential partner and we block out the bad ones. Sound familiar? Like I said, this happens to the best of us. So if this hits home and this is you, it's okay. Your newfound awareness of it should prevent it from happening on its own again. The seventh mistake is you flash to the future too fast. When we have a great first date with someone, or even a great first few dates, we do something called future flashing. We can't help it because it just feels so good to do. Now, this is where we project ourselves and this new person that we're seeing into the future in our minds and just see things working out perfectly with them. Not only is this not reality, but this can lead us to sticking things out with the wrong people for weeks, months, and sometimes years until we can match the images we have in our mind with our reality. So, if you've got visions of engagements and weddings and children after date number 3, make sure to sound those alarm bells off in your brain and slow down. So, are you ready to work with me one-on-one? Now we 100% can. I am so pumped that I was recently introduced to a platform called Wizio, and I think it's gonna work out beautifully for us to work together. The truth is, a lot of you don't need a full 1-hour Zoom session with me. Sometimes you may just have a question or two, or you have a hot date that's coming up, and you just need a little advice. So, here's how Wizio works. Just go to daterboy.com/Wizio in another window on your internet browser, or simply click the link in the description below. This is going to take you to my personal Wizio page. From there, you can either click on my standard response or my emergency response. Once you've selected one of those, you're either going to type out your questions to me or record an audio of yourself or a video of yourself that's no more than 1 to 2 minutes long. And in this text, audio, or video description, you're gonna spell out what's going on for you and how I can best help you. So again, I just need about 1 to 2 minutes of you describing your situation. Now, depending on what type of response you requested of me, you're gonna get a 2 to 4 minute personalized video back from me. I'm gonna give you personalized advice, and I'm gonna help you in any way that I can in that 2 to 4 minute video. If you chose the standard response, you're gonna get that video from me within 7 days of your request. And if you chose the emergency response, you're gonna get that video within 2 days of your request. This is gonna be way more time efficient than a 1-hour Zoom call with me, and a much, much cheaper way for us to stay connected. That's daterboy.com/Wizio. Ladies, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like below. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you over on the Wizio platform starting today.